You woke up this morning and reached for your phone before your eyes fully opened. You ate breakfast sitting down, drove to work sitting down, sat at a desk for 8 hours, drove home sitting down, and collapsed onto a couch. You never ran from anything. You never lifted anything heavier than a grocery bag. And yet your body is exhausted, not a little tired. Bone deep, chronic, low-grade exhausted, and you have no idea why. Here is the truth. Your body has no idea what year it is. It does not know about office chairs or delivery apps or electric light. Every system inside you was designed for a life you are no longer living. And the mismatch between what your biology expects and what your daily life actually provides is quietly making you sick, tired, anxious, and inflamed in ways that medicine is only beginning to understand. Your body is not broken, it is just ancient. And ancient things do not update automatically. The field that studies this gap has a name: evolutionary medicine. Researchers like Daniel Lieberman at Harvard have spent decades asking a question most doctors never ask. Why do humans get sick in the patterns they do? Lieberman's work, particularly his book Exercised, argues that almost nothing about modern physical life matches the environment that shaped human biology. Not the sitting, not the stillness, not the softness of the food, not the absence of bare feet on soil. None of it. For roughly 300,000 years, your body was built and refined inside a world that never stopped moving. Your ancestors walked an average of 9 to 15 kilometers every single day. Not for exercise, not because someone told them to, because stopping meant not eating. The body you are living in right now was engineered for that life. Every hormone, every metabolic pathway, every sleep signal, all of it was calibrated for bodies that moved constantly, slept with the sun, and never once sat in a chair. Then, in the span of about 200 years, almost all of that changed. Your cardiovascular system still expects you to run occasionally, not a marathon, a sprint. A real one, the kind where something was chasing you or you were chasing something, where your heart slammed against your chest and your lungs burned. That kind of acute, intense physical stress followed by rest was the cycle your heart evolved inside. When you never give your heart that spike, when your pulse never really climbs and really falls, something goes wrong. Blood pressure creeps up and stays up. Arteries stiffen gradually. Your circulatory system, waiting for a stress signal that never arrives, begins to lose its elasticity. Physician and researcher Frank Booth at the University of Missouri coined a term for this: inactivity physiology. The idea that physical stillness is not a neutral state, it is an active stressor. Your body does not treat sitting as rest. It treats it as malfunction. And that is only the cardiovascular system. Your gut evolved to process food that was hard to get, harder to chew, and wildly varied. Your ancestors ate roots and tubers, raw leaves, tough meat, occasional fruit when it was in season, and nothing remotely sweet except honey, which was rare and dangerous to obtain. Your digestive system was shaped around that input: high fiber, low sugar, long gaps between meals, a microbiome that had to be diverse and robust because the environment was filthy in ways that forced your immune system to stay active and calibrated. Now you eat 3 times a day at exact intervals. The food is soft. It is processed. It is designed by engineers to be as easy and rewarding to consume as possible. Your gut microbiome, which researchers like Rob Knight at UC San Diego have studied extensively, has lost enormous diversity compared to populations that still eat traditional diets. Not a little diversity. Hundreds of species that used to live in the human gut are simply gone in most industrialized populations. That microbial loss has ripple effects that reach far beyond digestion. Your immune system, which learned to calibrate itself against a constant low-level microbial environment, now has almost nothing to calibrate against. Allergies, autoimmune conditions, chronic inflammation. These are not random. They follow the map of industrialization almost exactly. The cleaner and more controlled your environment becomes, the more likely your immune system is to attack the wrong things. Think about what your eyes were built for. They evolved scanning open landscapes, constant focal distance shifts, near, middle, far, tracking movement, watching horizons. Now you spend 8, 10, 12 hours a day staring at a flat surface 18 inches from your face. Your eyes are doing something they were never designed to do. Myopia, or nearsightedness, was rare before industrialization. It now affects roughly half the world's population. Researchers like Ian Morgan at the Australian National University have pointed to one specific missing ingredient: natural light. Not the light from screens. Outdoor light, which is orders of magnitude brighter, triggers dopamine release in the retina that regulates eye growth. Without it, the eyeball literally elongates in the wrong direction and you become nearsighted. The cure your body expects is simply to be outside, to look at things that are far away, to see the world at the distance it was meant to be seen. Your sleep system is perhaps the most brutally disrupted of all. For the entirety of human prehistory, your body used two signals to regulate sleep: light and temperature. When the sun went down, the world cooled and went dark, and your brain began releasing melatonin. When the sun rose, the light hit your retina, melatonin production stopped, and cortisol began rising to wake you up. That system worked flawlessly for hundreds of thousands of years. Then artificial light was invented, and suddenly your brain, which cannot tell the difference between a screen and a sunrise, stopped knowing when it was supposed to sleep. Blue wavelength light from your phone tells your retina it is noon. It suppresses melatonin completely. You stay awake for hours past when your biology intended. Then an alarm cuts your sleep short, and the cycle starts again, except now cortisol is rising before your body has finished its repair work. Sleep researcher Matthew Walker at UC Berkeley has documented what that chronic short sleep state does inside your body. Your immune function drops, your emotional regulation deteriorates, your appetite hormones shift so that you crave high-calorie foods the next day. Your memory consolidation breaks down, your cardiovascular risk rises. Every single night of insufficient sleep is not just a bad night. It is active biological damage that compounds over time. And yet, this is now normal. This is what most people on Earth are experiencing right now. Here is what makes this strange. None of these are character flaws. None of them are failures of willpower. Your body is not weak or broken for struggling with the modern world. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do, inside an environment it was never designed for. The discomfort you feel, the fatigue, the anxiety, the chronic low-level inflammation, the restless sleep. That is not illness. That is information. That is your body sending signals that made perfect sense for 300,000 years and now have nowhere to land. Researcher Randolph Nesse, one of the founders of evolutionary medicine, calls this evolutionary mismatch. The idea that natural selection simply cannot keep up with the speed of cultural change. Evolution works in thousands of generations. Culture changes in single ones. Your genome is almost identical to that of your great-great-grandmother who lived before electricity, and your great-great-grandmother would not recognize a single hour of your daily life. So what do you do with that? You cannot reverse industrialization. You cannot undo the chair or the screen or the artificial light. But you can stop treating your body as if it were built for this world and start treating it as what it actually is: a Paleolithic body that occasionally needs to be reminded of the environment that built it. Bare feet on uneven ground, eyes that look at things far away, a heart rate that spikes and falls, real dark at night, food with texture and fiber that your gut actually has to work with, a microbiome that encounters soil and air and other bodies regularly. None of that is revolutionary. None of that requires a product or a program. It requires only that you remember what your body is still expecting, even now, even today, even as you sit here reading this. You woke up this morning and reached for your phone before your eyes fully opened. Your body reached for the morning light first. It will keep reaching for it. The only question is whether you will ever let it find what it is looking for.